Worried about securing your home computer, network, and other devices? Well, stay tuned because today we're covering those topics and more on the Grumpy Sysadmin. Today's world, although full of a wonderment of technology, can also be extremely scary when it comes to securing those same devices. Most people take the ostrich approach and bury their head in the sand. When it comes to securing their own home devices, typically they simply plop them down without giving another thought about changing the default passwords or settings. This is probably one of the biggest mistakes that you can make, but I'm getting ahead of myself here. Now, here's a quick list of things you should take care of. Upgrade your computer. Not running the latest version of Windows 10 or 11? Running an older version of Windows leaves you vulnerable in ways you can't even imagine. Make sure you're installing Windows and other updates regularly. Even if you're running the latest version of Windows, every month those geniuses in Redmond are releasing new patches and updates for additional vulnerabilities or problems that have been found. Windows will usually install them for you, but it doesn't hurt to make sure you're rebooting your machine occasionally and checking just to make sure it's up to date. Also, install updates for other products. Just because you keep your operating system up to date doesn't mean that there aren't issues with other software. It's on you to make sure all of your software is kept up to date. Install a good antivirus or anti-malware product. Windows Defender that comes with the operating system is okay, but other third-party software is even better. It's like wearing a better mask when there are lots of germs around. Practice good password etiquette. So many of you out there think it's okay to set a password such as password 1 and never change it. Well, hackers know this and will try to hack in with those simple passwords. Change your passwords, make them complex, or better yet, make them passphrases. A random string of letters and numbers is difficult to remember, but something like Superman flies backwards too not only is sufficiently longer, it is also something that is much easier to remember. Protect your wireless network. You wouldn't leave your home unlocked so that anybody could simply just walk in now, would you? Well, your wireless is no different. Use WPA3 encryption if your wireless device supports it. If not, at least use WPA2. And for the love of all that's digital, do not use WEP. That's no better than standing in front of an oncoming semi-truck, holding up a piece of gauze and saying, "Come on through." Change the default passwords on all those devices you have around the house. Think it's not a big deal if you didn't change the default password on that webcam or baby monitor? Well, someone on the internet may just get into your network and then be able to see everything those devices can see. Changing that password will take only a couple of minutes and prevents that. Do you plan to never be managing your devices from somewhere other than sitting in front of them? Then disable remote management completely. If you're not going to be managing them from afar, then why have that ability running? Keep your shields up. Have a firewall? Make sure it's running and up to date. Windows has a firewall built in, and I know, the notifications can get quite annoying, but it's there to protect you, so make sure it's on and that you're using it. Where possible, use multi-factor authentication, or MFA for short. Most hackers will try to get in the easiest way possible. MFA doesn't prevent all hacking, but it makes it a lot harder, so most hackers will usually move on to more vulnerable targets. And if you're using public Wi-Fi, use a VPN to add an extra layer of protection while you're traveling. Now, I could go on and on about protecting yourself, but I like to think I've gotten the point across. Oh, and just in case you didn't take the protecting yourself to heart, make sure you're backing up your data, so if and when the inevitable does happen, you have a way of recovering all those precious photos, recipes, and cat videos that you've been hoarding. Alright folks, there you have it. From the grumpiest corner of the internet, no-nonsense tips on securing your home tech. Remember, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean the hackers aren't out to get you. So take a little advice from your friendly neighborhood grumpy sysadmin. Patch your systems, change those default passwords, and stop clicking on those "You've won $1 million" emails. If you found these tips somewhat useful, hit that like button. Heck, I might even smile for that one. And don't forget to press that subscribe and alert buttons just to stay up to date with the latest grumpy techno tips. Stay safe, stay secure, and I'll catch you next time. And as always, stay grumpy.